Thanks for joining me, guys. I don't know what to say. How do you both feel about it?
I've got my mate with me today, but yeah, he's coming. He's done an incredible job today. The same
We are going up, say we are going up. We are going up, say we are going up.
at least it was warm.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
Yeah. Well, that speaks volumes, really. It has been completely since we ended up landing the job. We spoke on it a few times. We were here after drawing the tour point. Felt like a loss. Felt like that was our season not done, but we'd signed. My intention was always to win the league, and that day felt like that we'd lost that opportunity. And then to, I don't know, Bagsy to pull us, have a chat, sit us both down and say like what the situation was and that he wanted us to take it on. I think we were shocked. He said he wanted to chat to us. I don't think we thought it was going to be that, but a lot happened like overnight really. We had a meeting on the Sunday. It was very like, you know, just sort of very business-like. We needed to get as much info as we could. Dance was going off on holiday and he was amazing. Like he, you know, spent far too much time on his phone for somebody who should be away enjoying himself. So, and that was important. Like, you know, we had to win at home to Wellington. That was a tough game. Could have went either way. Big Kiwi come on and scored a goal. So shout out to him. He's not with us today, but he played a part in this promotion. And then yeah, from then the boys have been outstanding. I think the loss to Froome was probably an unfair reflection of like in terms of defeat. Like, don't get me wrong, we play our best side and their best side, they're favourites to win. But the young lads, again, Alistair, massive shout out to him. All the other boys like Roman stepped in, loads of them come in, got their debuts that night and in other games have done an incredible job for the club really. So getting through each game, we just had to keep ticking them off. And then got ourselves in that position, like we said, we were down to tour point. I think we were looking at it and maybe naively from my stance, being like young and new to the job, kind of just tried to get every player on the pitch, like our best team on the pitch when we had sort of people coming back from injuries, and I just thought we'd go down there and I know they were undefeated at home, but go and blow them away. So that was a bit of a humbling experience. And then the reaction that the lads had last week, I let the team down, getting sent off. I still think it was cheap, to be honest. But once I'm on a yellow, I shouldn't make a tackle like that, and it just summed it up. I said at half time, if they get a clean sheet, and we obviously done that, and then went and get that goal from Lofty. So, who hasn't really played much today, but I think it just shows you the whole squad. They've been outstanding, played such a huge part in securing us that promotion back to the Western League. Me and Dance have been playing together here for a sort of 3-4 seasons on and off now, and to be thrown into that role, I think we obviously both bring different strengths to it. I don't think it's something we want to do permanently or long term, but we, like, you know, happy to sort of front it for the lads. And we said it's like kind of like a group thing, but at the end of the day, when we're the ones that have to do the research into the opposition, or the ones that we've got to pick the team, it can be a group thing all you want, but we're the ones putting our heads on the line to do that. So like fucking, oh, sorry, but you know, but the effort that Dance has put in, and I know like Bradders and Peck sort of being those listening ears, we've got it wrong once in my opinion. I think the tour point game we got it wrong once, so out of sort of 12-13 games to get it wrong once, we would took that all season. And if you look at it, when I've been on the bench, Dance captain the side, like, you know, and proper leader's performance again today. From the back, it's his job, but then to pop it with a goal, settled us down, and basically we sort of knew the job was done then without being disrespectful to the opposition. So he's been incredible, so massive credit to him.
Yeah, no, look, it's from a disappointment probably 2-3 weeks ago, whenever the tour point game was to now, it's a completely different feeling. And we said to the lads before the game, we want to be sitting there after the Clevedon game with that same feeling, you know, to win 3-1 against a very, very, very good side with 10 men for 75 minutes, I think it was. But more importantly, the performance, right? Because the tour point performance was really disappointing from our perspective. We went down there, and maybe the pressure of the day got to us a little bit, and the nerves, and not being in that position before. But you know, to bounce back Clevedon and then today to secure promotion back up to the Southern League is a massive achievement. And that was, you know, we said to the boys, that was always the goal at the start of the season, right? Was to get promoted back to the Southern League, whether we won the league, or whether we did it through the playoffs. It didn't really matter to us, but you know, all those 15, 16 lads have bought into it in there. You know, they've been fantastic with us. You know, there's some lads today, you know, Goldie, for example, who was superb last week, you know, really unlucky to miss out, but they've bought into it and the attitude's been spot on. And you know, there's no getting away from the position we were left in when we took it over. It was a good position, right? But we still had 10, 11 games left. With a squad of probably 12 for the first 3, 4. So, you know, it's not us necessarily that have done a lot, it's the 15, 16 lads that are now sat in that change room enjoying this feeling that have done a lot. And, you know, I don't want to come in here today after not doing an interview for 10 games and take all the glory, but the reason why I wanted to come and stand is because of this man. He's taken, you know, the royal we, he's taken 85% of the work on and done a lot behind the scenes to get us to this point, and, you know, unselfishly not played and put himself on the line in the dugout, which, you know, as a player for 3-4 years for this club, and a good player at that, who's played at a lot higher level, you know, it takes a lot of guts and courage to do that, right? To put the team before himself. So, you know, a big shout out to him, because, you know, I've done a little bit, right? I've done a little bit on holiday, but
you're being modest.
This man's done a hell of a lot behind the scenes, and, you know, it's that performance is a reflection of all the hard work that he's put in for the last 10, 11 games. So, look, it's a great feeling. It's something we're probably going to enjoy long into the night.
And in tomorrow.
Yeah, in tomorrow, maybe the early hours in the morning. But look, a quick thank you as well to, you know, to yourself, you know, all the people that sit behind the scenes that have helped us out. Josh, you know, we've been badgering him for 10, 11 games now, trying to sort of get players signed on in that early days, and then, you know, making sure that we had everything right for today. You know, Ren's coming in and giving us a hand, it's been huge. You know, Slugger turning up every week and being brilliant, setting the warm up for us. There's so many people Pat coming in, for the physio. So, you know, this is what this club's about, and this club deserves to be in the Southern League. We've been in for, you know, 3-4 years, and it deserves to be back where it is, you know, after today. So, you know, big shout out to Lens for doing a superb job. Big shout out to the boys in there for putting their weight and having an unbelievable attitude, and big shout out to likes yourself, John, and everyone else that's helped out for the whole season.
But yeah, I can't, like, touching on that, like, you lot have watched us be incredibly poor. That, seriously, that was the thing that hurt most. Like, the project when I come to Portland was a real promising one. Obviously, Wrens and Tubbs had a real good thing going on. Earned the right to get the job at Yate, and they've done fair play. Like, it's their hometown club, it'd be the same kind of pool if it was Portland for us. But from then it was pretty hard. Obviously, like, you know, Locks and Derbs come in, settled it a bit, and it was a tough ask, and then we kind of like spiraled a bit from there, just inconsistency, obviously Tuzi's inexperience, and not, like, you know, kind of having a dabble in management, little things like that, and then to get the club relegated, it you know, you don't want it on your CV personally, but this club should not be in the Western League, and that's no disrespect to the Western League, and I mentioned it yesterday, it's a hard league. If we didn't get out of it today, I can assure you next season that will be a harder league to get out of again. So the fact that we've come back from that disappointment, one, we shouldn't have had any right to win at Tor Point, so to have the league in our hands, the run we've been on, incredible, but then to bounce back, 10 men against Clevedon, to win 3-1, in my opinion, the way we countered and, like, soaked up the pressure, outstanding, worthy winners. And then today it wasn't comprehensive, but I always felt confident in the game that we had enough at both ends of the pitch, and, like, the lads were fantastic. So you guys that followed us when we were turning up every week and we were losing, hopefully this season has given a bit back to you guys, and you can enjoy that, and I hope you guys will enjoy this in there. So massive thanks to, well, you and all the supporters, John, and everybody that helps you on the scene and gives up your time.
Thank you. Well, all I can say is go and enjoy yourselves.
I will. Thanks,
Cheers,
John.
Cheers, John.